brought to you by Visionary Parenting. Start reading for free today at visionaryfam.com/parent.
Families frequently fracture at the holidays. Join us for this important conversation today on Family Vision. Rob Rienow here with Visionary Family Ministries. Merry Christmas, and thank you for being a part of the Family Vision community. We are happy to connect with you online, but we would like to see you in person for an upcoming Visionary Family event. You could join us for winter camp at Forest Springs in Wisconsin, December 29 through January 1. We will be hosting the Never Too Late Conference, January 10th, Charleston, South Carolina. This is for parents of adult kids, parents who want to have a better relationship with their adult child, and especially if they have an adult child far from God. You don't want to miss that. Then we'll be doing the Visionary Parenting Parent Summit at Village Church of Barrington here in Illinois. That will be January 17 and 18. And then also in Illinois, we have got a Father-Son Connect event. That is January 24th, hosted by Wheaton Academy here in West Chicago. We have got events all around the country throughout 2026. We would love to see you. Go to our website, visionaryfam.com, click the events button, and join us. Well, Christmas can be a wonderful time for our families, but it can also be a real challenge as family fractures and family conflicts often boil over at this time of year. And I recently had a conversation with Chris Sasser. He is a pastor in North Carolina. He is the author of the book Bags, helping your kids deal with baggage and emotional challenges. I also recommend his podcast to you, which is just called Ministry to Parents. But Pastor Chris leads Never Too Late groups in his church. These, again, are groups for parents of adult children. They want to have better relationships with their adult kids. And they may be particularly concerned that they may have an adult child who is far from God. Now, you can start reading Never Too Late for free today. Just go to visionaryfam.com/nevertoolate. Punch in your name and email right there, and we will send that ebook to you. And we also have a brand new video Bible study coming out in early 2026, which would be perfect for your church or small group. But Chris led some parents through a Never Too Late group, and they turned in a whole bunch of questions that they wanted passed on to me, things that they were dealing with in their own family. So Chris and I were able to get on a Zoom call together. Parents in this group asked some powerful questions, and I thought it would be really helpful just to share those questions and those conversations with you here on Family Vision. So here we go.
Our 23-year-old son occasionally gives us hope that he will return to Christ, and as parents, we have begun to celebrate those very tiny events. But at the same time, his lifestyle and his actions repulse us, and we often find it very difficult to even relate to him. During this season, how can I continue to have hope when it seems like my natural inclination is to daily drop the hammer, knowing full well that this action will ultimately break the relationship and remove any influence we have over him?
Well, I'm really happy for the first part of the question where our 23-year-old son gives us hope occasionally that he'll return to Christ and that you're celebrating those tiny events. So the first thing I would say is, are you celebrating those tiny events privately, or are you celebrating those events with him in relationship? In other words, maybe this 23-year-old says a prayer before a meal or attends church with you. I'm not sure when you say gives us hope for his spiritual life. I don't know what the specifics are with that, but I would just be very direct with him. Let's say he prayed before a meal. Taking the risk and awkwardly saying, hey, listen, I know that you're on a journey spiritually, but it just really means a lot to me. It meant a lot to me that you prayed before we ate the other night. Just naming it, speaking it out. You want to make sure that he is aware. You know, you said you've begun to celebrate those very tiny events. You want him to know that you're celebrating. Now, you've gone through the Never Too Late book, and you know that one of the principles is that we want to try to mirror Jesus's ministry and Jesus came full of grace and full of truth. Most of us as parents are better at one than the other. The full of grace is, I love you no matter what. I'm committed to you no matter what. Full of grace. Full of truth is, I'm concerned for you. I'm burdened for you. I see you going down a path that I know is not God's best for you. It's directly speaking your concern, your burden for your child. So we've got some parents that are very good at the I love you no matter what, but they're not so good when it comes to saying, hey, I'm concerned for you. We've got lots of parents who are really good at the I'm concerned for you. And you said, how can I continue to have hope when it seems my natural inclination is to daily drop the hammer? So I'm going to read between the lines and say that you're probably good at the truth side, that your son probably knows exactly what you think. If I asked your son, tell me all the things that dad or mom, not sure who's writing this, tell me everything your parent is concerned about in your life, I'll bet you that they could list everything. I'll bet they've heard you and could repeat it all back. The encouragement I would give you is, which of these, full of grace, full of truth, are you potentially short on? And if, reading between the lines, you may be short on the full of grace side, and your child probably already knows the things you're concerned about or burdened about or upset about, then it's time to pour on the full of grace stuff. And it's a lot of these are awkward, preamble-y conversations. Hey, son, I think a lot of times when I talk to you about life stuff, I'm probably focused on the things that I'm concerned about or the things that I think maybe need to change in your life. And maybe I don't say often enough just how much I love you, and that I'm completely committed to my relationship with you. We may not see eye to eye on things. We may not share the same beliefs or perspectives or values, but you know what? I'm just with you no matter what. And I just want to have a great relationship with you as adults. And that's where my heart is right now. I just wanted you to know that. Full stop, period. You already identified the problem at the end of your question. You said, if I keep dropping the hammer, that'll ultimately break the relationship and remove any influence we have over him. Ding, 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 ding. So you've got it all figured out. So take your own advice, which is, let's reshift our focus in the relationship. You've got plenty of truth. You've had it going. He gets it. So let's increase the grace side, because if you don't, you already said what's going to happen. It's going to break the relationship and remove your influence.
I even think too, Rob, the way that you just used the language of I'm concerned for you, it's different than I think what oftentimes we as parents can do when we come at our kids with, here's what you're doing wrong, or here's, the way it makes me look. And we may not say that, but sometimes that is our motivation. But just it feels to me like a graceful way to come at the truth part. I'm
Exactly.
concerned about what the direction you're going in and what this could project out to, or anything like that, instead of the finger pointing and you're bad and you're doing something wrong. And that's like even gonna help me in framing things when I need to bring the truth part to my kids. It's not you're bad, you're doing wrong. It's I care about you so much that I'm concerned. I love that. Thanks for that. Okay, question. We are thankful that we have seen our daughter moving closer to God in recent months. She shared with us through a text part of her faith journey. This is an answer to years of praying. However, her pattern of keeping us at an emotional distance continues. Is there a point at which we should take the initiative to invite her back into a closer relationship with us, or do we just accept the distance?
That's a great question. And it's interesting. This question starts the same way the last did, that there's some flickers of hope here. There's some little sprouts growing. We're thankful. We've seen our daughter moving to God in recent months. She shared with us through that text part of her faith journey. So I guess, again, I'd ask the same question. Have you communicated directly to her? I'd say two things: how thankful you are for what the Lord is doing in her life, but even, I don't say more than that, also thanking her for her willingness to share it with you and being very direct about that. Probably phone or in person is better than a text. The question here implies that there is some emotional distance. So maybe the phone is too personal. Maybe face-to-face is not possible. I don't know the distance of where they're living. At the very least, a text back Well, first of all, we're just so happy to hear about what the Lord is doing in your life. And thank you for taking a risk and sharing that with us. It means the world to us that you would let us in and be open with us about this, because what you want, she really took a risk by doing that. She knows there's emotional distance. You know there's emotional distance. And she took a risk by opening up her heart to you, by giving her heart to you, Proverbs 23:26. You just want to say thank you for that. Really means a lot to us that you would trust us with this personal information. Now, you asked about, however, her pattern of keeping us at an emotional distance continues. And here's where I would push you a little bit personally to wrestle with maybe some more difficult questions. And I guess the question would be this: are there some good reasons why she's kept you at an emotional distance? Are there some good reasons? If I asked her, hey, why do you keep your parents at arm's length? Would she give me some good reasons why? Would she be able to list some things that have happened in the relationship that's caused her to feel unsafe or judged or pushed away? I don't know what it would be. But if there is some introspection on your part, let me put it this way. Let's say that you have some situations in the past that you didn't feel like you handled very well. Maybe she made some bad choices. Maybe you responded with anger. Maybe you responded with shame. I don't know what it is, but you look back and you think, boy, I'd love to have a do-over on that. If you could identify a couple of those things and go to her with, hey, I know that there's some distance between us, and I know that you've sort of had to keep us at arm's length sometimes. And I've been thinking about that. And I remember this conversation we had a couple years ago, and I think I just handled that really poorly. I think the way I communicated to you was very shaming. And it doesn't surprise me, actually, that you probably wanted to talk to us less after that. So would you please forgive us for handling that poorly? Thank you again for that text last week where you opened up and shared a little bit about what God was doing in your life. We're learning along this process as well about what it means to have a great relationship with you. And then the only other thing I would say, the person is asking, is there a point at which we should take initiative to invite her back into closer relationship with us, or just accept the distance? You might ask her what she's looking for right now. I don't know. How old is she? They didn't say. Didn't say how old. But let's just say she's 30. Let's pick a random number, okay? Honey, as we are all navigating now what it means to have adult relationships, I know we've had ups and downs in our relationships, times that have been pretty good, times that have been more distant. But we're learning what it means to build a great relationship with you. And we would just like to ask you, how do you feel like things are going? Would you like things to be closer, healthier? Would you like things to be further away? Are you okay with where things are right now? We feel kind of a little insecure, a little off balance. And so we just want to talk about it with you, since our relationship's not just us, it's you and all of us, and just kind of wanted to hear your heart. So you throw it out there. Now, wouldn't it be wonderful if she were to say, honestly, I wish we had a better relationship. I wish things were closer. And she might say, I don't know how to do that, and I'm still frustrated and hurt by this, and this, but I wish things were better. Well, that'd be a great data point to have, to know that from her side of the chasm, okay, I think, the two cliffs, okay, and two people standing on the other cliffs. If you were to sort of wave a white flag and say, hey, we'd love to be closer with you, and then she were to raise her white flag and say, yeah, I'd like that too, that goes a long way toward even knowing kind of what we're dealing with. What are we even working on here? Because she might say the opposite. Honestly, lately, when I've tried to be open with you, I don't think it's gone very well, so I need a little space right now. Also, that's painful, but also good information to have as you're running this marathon of building a heart-connected relationship with her to help her build a heart-connected relationship with Jesus. I hope this conversation's been an encouragement to you. Hope it's given you some biblical and practical principles that you can use to press in to seeking healing in your family relationships. And we'd love to hear from you. If you've got a question you'd like us to talk about on a future episode, you could email it to us, or you could even record a little MP3 and email that MP3 to us at podcast@visionaryfam.com. That's also the email address that you use to send us your prayer needs. Our prayer team is ready to hear from you, ready to pray for you, or ready even to schedule a call to pray with you. And as always, we look forward to our next time together with you on Family Vision.